All right, so we're here with RayJ Dennis from Baylor. Can you just start by kind of walking us through how you got into basketball in the first place and kind of, your basketball journey, a little overview of that?
Um, as long as I can remember, I've been in love with basketball probably since I was about 3 years old. Been playing ever since. Went to high school in the suburbs of Chicago, Plainfield, Illinois, and loved it. I mean, Chicago's a basketball city, so I got to play against some of the best players in the world growing up, and it's kind of built me up and built the foundation to where I am right now.
And who are some players that stand out that you got to play against growing up?
I mean, there's a couple in the NBA right now, like Ayo Dosunmu, Taylor Horton Tucker. But I mean, there's a ton of guys. Like Chicago's one of the places where you play against a bunch of players that like people would never know. Like if I start naming names right now.
For sure. And how do you feel like that impacted your game, the way you play, the way you see the court, all that?
I feel like that's where I learned how to play. I mean, like I said, that's the foundation. So it's definitely impacted me a lot and kind of built it and molded me to be the type of player I am right now.
And growing up, were there any players that you looked up to, whether it was in college or the pros?
I mean, yeah, there's probably a ton. I mean, Kobe Bryant was my all-time favorite. I love watching Steph. But I mean, I love watching like smaller guards. Jalen Brunson's one, Chicago area. Fred VanVleet, Dame Lillard, Tyus Jones, guys like that.
For sure. And, you had a great college career across these schools. You kind of walk us through, the biggest way that you feel that you grew from, freshman year to this last year with Baylor?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing probably in college, I had to learn how to play defense. I couldn't guard a soul when I got there. And then just kind of growing, maturing, experience helps with that, being able to make plays and see plays and just ultimately having the game slow down for you. So, I mean, that's probably the biggest thing that's happened over the years.
And what was that process like to kind of, learn how to play defense to now it's something that, it's a calling card?
I mean, it was fun. I mean, it's a long journey. It kind of catches you off guard and kind of hits you in the mouth when you first get to school. But, I mean, turning it into a strength, it's been fun. So.
And when do you feel like, you mentioned how things started to slow down for you, when you're making your reads and everything. Was there kind of a turning point there, or is that something that kind of came to you progressively over time?
I think it's probably came progressively over time. I mean, I've been a point guard my whole life, and getting my teammates involved and making reads and seeing angles and making passes is something I've always been passionate about and took pride in. So I think I've been doing it for a really long time, and I've just progressively got better.
For sure. And looking at this past season, is there one area, of your game or of your off-court approach, anything that stands out that you feel like you developed, grew in the most?
I think I became a better leader this year, for sure. We had a team that was really new. We had a bunch of new guys, not a lot of returners. And so just being a leader and being able to help gel the team together was something that I really grew in this year.
And what went into growing into being a leader? It's not something that necessarily comes naturally to everyone. It's not something that everyone's cut out for. How do you feel like, what were the steps you took to, grow as a leader this year?
I mean, I've always wanted to be a leader. I think at every stop I've had, I've always wanted to be that leader and at times have been that leader. And being one of the older guys, being a fifth-year senior this year, honestly, it was my job to do that.
And what was it like playing on, this team that had other NBA prospects on the court? I mean, obviously playing in a very competitive league. What was that kind of experience like for you?
I mean, it was super fun. I mean, it started in Big 12. I mean, you get to play against an NBA talent every night, pretty much. So, I mean, it's super fun. There's no nights off. You got to come ready to compete. And then as far as my teammates, I think we were probably one of the most talented teams in the country. And it really just made playing with them super fun. Everybody's competitive. There was no egos. So, I mean, we came to work every day. Loved it.
For sure. And, you mentioned how every night you're playing against NBA talent. Are there any guys that you played against that were the most fun to play against this year, or you're looking forward to most?
I mean, the Big 12 was probably like really guard heavy and
Mm-hmm.
loaded with guards. So just being able to play against like all the top guards in the country, and really we had a tough schedule, so we played against some tough guards really outside the conference as well. I mean, we got Max Abmas, Jamal Shedd, Tamin Lipsey, Sean Gilbert, Tyson Walker. I mean, even like Aiden Holloway from Auburn. So, just getting a matchup against all the top guards in the country.
Absolutely. And looking back at this past year, are there any highlights, any moments that stand out as some of your favorite memories you'll walk away with?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like the cool thing about college basketball is how much you get to gel with the team and really become friends. And so now I got like brothers for life. So I mean, I probably later in life, the most thing I remember is just like hanging out with them and building those relationships. But I mean, on the court, probably winning the NIT tournament, beating Florida the preseason NIT tournament.
Yep, for sure. And you mentioned how, whether it's in that tournament or just in general, you guys had a tough non-conference schedule too. What was, I guess, the process like there? And did you feel like there was a difference in play styles when you were playing the, non-Big 12 teams?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a little bit of a difference. Every conference to me feels like they have their own rhythm and own style. So you could definitely feel it from like playing in Florida and then going to play Michigan State and then Seton Hall and then playing the Big 12 schedule. You could definitely feel it.
For sure. And now, since the season's wrapped up, what have you kind of been looking to work on the most as you get ready for the pre-draft process?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to like expand my game all the way around. But honestly, I want to shoot the ball a lot better. So shooting the ball and then just making sure my point guard skills are super tight and super strong, and that's something I want to showcase.
What's been kind of your routine to improve the shot?
Just come in every day and shoot and get reps up and get a lot of reps at the NBA line and making sure my mechanics are tight and I shoot a good ball and give it a chance.
For sure. And now, coming into the PIT, what were some kind of your expectations about it, and what were some goals you had coming into it?
I mean, one goal was to win the whole tournament. Fortunately, that didn't work out. We lost the first one. But honestly, just to come in and showcase myself and honestly just have a good time while doing it. You get to play with a lot of really great players here. So, I mean, building those relationships, talking to those guys, and kind of sharing stories from our college experiences.
And what's kind of the experience been like so far for you here?
I mean, it's been great. I think I have a really good team, and I think you hear like some horror stories sometimes about like PIT and guys not passing the ball. But honestly, my teammates have been great. We've been sharing the ball and playing pretty well together.
And what do you feel like you've gone to kind of show through these games about your own game, your strengths, with NBA team personnel and scouts watching on?
I think so far I've been able to show my shot making ability and show like my feel for the game and how much I can get other guys involved.
Is there anything that, heading into this last day, is top of mind that you want to kind of leave as a takeaway people have about you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I said, keep showing how much I can get guys involved, shot making ability, but I think one thing for sure I want to show like my defensive ability. I think I'm a really strong defender and I can guard all the guard spots and show how I can be a pest and make things hard for guys.
For sure. And you mentioned, some of the guards you mentioned earlier that you enjoyed playing against this year are actually here in the tournament. What's it like playing, alongside and against, such a talented group?
It's fun. I mean, that's what you dream of. You dream of playing against guys who are top in the country, and you get to see how you stack up against them. So, I mean, every chance you get to play against talent like I am right now, it's always a blessing.
And, as far as the off-the-court aspect of the PIT, what's kind of stood out the most to you in the, interview process with the teams here?
Honestly, I didn't know, like, it just happens right in the hallways and everywhere. So I mean, it's been a fun experience. You see guys walking around interviewing, and you get to like the interviews are similar, but every team has like their own flavor. So it's fun to kind of see the differences between the organizations.
For sure. And heading into the next couple months for the rest of the pre-draft process, what are you looking forward to the most?
Honestly, getting better. You have a lot of time between now and June, where the draft is. So you got a lot of time to get better and perfect your craft. So honestly, just get better.
Is there any feedback that you've been getting of areas of your game that you're looking to hone in on, especially?
Shooting. Everybody, the way the league is now, everybody wants to make sure you can shoot and knock down an open shot and do it at a high clip.
Absolutely. As you're looking to, whether it's with your point guard reads, with your shooting, as you're looking to keep improving, are there any players that you're kind of looking to study the way that they're approaching it?
Yeah, I mean, kind of to piggyback off what I said earlier, like guys like Tyus Jones and Fred VanVleet and Jalen Brunson, where their paths were like second round or undrafted. I mean, Tyus just wasn't, but guys like that who've had like not like the sweetest path ever and just kind of had to grind and get it out the mud a little bit.
Is there any advice you've gotten from anyone, whether it's in the league or around the league, that's really stood out to you through this process?
Yeah, absolutely. Playing defense, being able to get stops, being able to show you're not a mismatch, you're not a liability, and turn it into a strength.
And what would you say, whether it's on or off the court, what would you say the number one way that you impact winning at the next level is?
I'm really vocal, and I'm a leader. I mean, I think my game kind of speaks for itself, the feel and the passing and everything, but I think my leadership and how vocal I can be can really help a team and really impact winning.
Great. And last question, what's one thing you feel like not too many people know about you, but you want to make sure that fans, scouts, teams know going forward?
I mean, they may know this about me, but I'm super competitive. I hate to lose. It's not a part of me. It's not something I want to be a part of me, and I'm probably one of the most competitive people out there.
Awesome.